cultural sites, yet the costs often seem overwhelming. But with Visit Tanzania for Less, exploring this East African gem on a budget is not only possible, but incredibly rewarding. Whether you're a solo backpacker, a volunteer, or just a budget-conscious traveler, we provide valuable insights and resources to make your journey unforgettable without breaking the bank. Book your trip now with just a $300 deposit and flexible monthly payments until your travel date. For more travel inspiration and tips, follow us on Instagram or visit us at visittanzaniaforless.com. Visit Tanzania for Less, your dream adventure within reach.
And welcome to Torn Into, your show for news, information, and more for this November the 1st, 2024. Show is brought to you by my man, Bishop Custom Series and Entertainment. For all your needs, see the Bishop. Listen, we're getting right down to the weather today. High of 51, low of 41, partly cloudy. The day that you need to be concerned with is Tuesday, high 64, low of 54, a 60% chance of rain. Don't let that make an excuse for you to vote. November the 1st, I can't believe it that we're already here already. Remember, these shows repeat themselves, and we have interviewed the candidates that wanted to be heard. Apparently, some don't, but we won't go there. I'm really excited, and we're just going to cut to the chase. Today's guest she's no stranger to the radio station, the community. She's a community activist and a clerk for the friendly people of Muskegon Heights.
Very friendly.
Please put together your hands for Jen Ross.
Hey.
And again, we want to thank Bishop. Also, don't forget to support the terrific
Kids free trip to Africa.
Yeah, the kids free trip to Africa.
They have a kickoff coming up, right?
Yep, have a kickoff coming up, and just so many things going on in my mind. But I got to get to Jen. Jen's on a limited time. Jen.
Yes.
What is going on?
Voting.
Voting
is going on. We want everybody to make sure that they're exercising their rights. I always tell people, you got to think the 60s wasn't that long ago, right?
No.
There are people alive right now who were born in the 60s who didn't, get that right until then. So, make sure that you are coming out to the polls. If you can't make it on Tuesday, there are early voting sites.
I'm really happy. A friend of mine called me just before the show, and he said he was number 6,565.
Muskegon is showing out. The county is showing out. I don't think any of us anticipated being this busy for before the election. So, and we hope to be equally as busy the day of in the local precincts. So,
how's it going in the Heights?
Oh God. So we've sent out. So, first of all, let's clear something up. So there's a lot of I think confusion with early voting versus absentee voting. Okay. Now, if you come to or go to your local clerk's office, you can absentee vote. Early, except for in the city of Muskegon, their city hall is also doing early voting, which is in person, where you actually feed your ballot into the tabulator. The rest of the municipalities, we're all really small. So doing 9 days of early voting would be very, very costly. So our wonderful county clerk's office has partnered with the other local municipalities to create the early voting site at their office, which is at 1903 Marquette Avenue.
Now, I understand there are 2 municipalities that are not part of that, but everybody else is.
Correct. Yeah, there's 22 or 23 of us that are. And even if you live in the city of Muskegon, you have the option of going to City Hall or going to the county location. So If you live in any of the other municipalities, Norton Shores, Roosevelt Park, you can go to your clerk's office if they're open, which everyone has weekend hour or at least Saturday hours. Our municipality is closed on Fridays, but we will be there tomorrow and Sunday.
Okay.
Tomorrow from 11 to 3 and Sunday from 2 to 6.
Please repeat that for people that just turned on the radio
Absolutely.
or turned on our Facebook site.
Absolutely. So again, the Muskegon Heights Clerk's Office will be open this weekend. Saturday from 11 to 3 and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
And that is for absentee voting. Again, those votes will get counted on Tuesday. And if you want to early in-person vote, that is at the county location at 1903 Marquette Avenue. And that's where you fill out your ballot there. You feed it into the tabulator at that location.
Please explain to people that the absentee ballots can only you can only start counting them
on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's a little ridiculous, but that's the rules, and that's what we have to go by.
I think, well, for us, we're a smaller municipality, so we don't need to start. Now, I feel like there's something that they can like start opening them on Monday, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to give out any misinformation. So, but we're a smaller municipality, so we've sent out about 1,300 absentee ballots. And so far, as of yesterday, we were at like 78% back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
there is a ballot. There's an issue. How can I describe this? Mm-hmm. You guys have an issue on the ballot that I don't think people are very familiar with.
Well, we have a few initiatives on the ballot. There is one that is for term limits. So that is, I believe, a 16-year term limit for service. So between council and any elected position, 16 years caps.
Okay.
And then the other one is for a seat vacating. So that means if you're a council member and you want to run for mayor, you have to vacate your seat in order to run for mayor. And that is so that kind of alleviates, having to have special elections, and because whoever the next person is in line that has the highest number of votes would get that seat.
Okay.
So
what are the open seats in Muskegon Heights?
There are none right now.
Okay.
No, there are none right now. So we do elections for local seats on the odd years.
Okay. So
next year there will be, I believe, 3 seats available.
Okay. Let's go back to this initiative of 16 years. Mm-hmm. Who started? That
was started by a citizen.
Okay.
That went ahead and got petition signatures and got that initiative on the ballot.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. What is something that you want people to know about your election workers, the whole process? Because there are people even now trying to, start with intimidation.
Oh my Lord, yes.
What do you want to say to the people about Tuesday?
I want to say that the election process is fair. It is honest. And that our workers are very much seasoned. Our workers have been there since before me. Mm-hmm. I've been there for a little over 2 years, and a lot of them have been doing this for years.
Okay.
So they know what they're doing. They know what to expect. They won't be intimidated. But they want everyone to be able to exercise their right. So we want to make sure you guys come on out.
I'm going to make sure I talk about that after Jen's out of here so you don't get in trouble.
Thank you.
Jen,
yes.
I've been thinking about this whole process, and it's already starting in Pennsylvania. How hard is it to actually rig an election?
It's very hard, and you'll see, people get caught. It's impossible. People have gotten caught trying to vote at multiple locations, or even, something as small and simple as turning in 2 ballots. That's gonna get we're gonna catch it. So, just don't do it.
And if you, what are the consequences of you doing that on purpose?
Jail?
Jail
Yeah, you get charges.
and fines.
Yeah. Who wants that? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Wow, wow. So you're dealing with intimidation, and you don't need to be dealing with this. Your workers have to deal with people who want addresses and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Tell people how crazy it is.
I'm not going to go into detail, but it is interesting. You hear these stories, but you never think, it's going to happen to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm not going to go into detail, but I will say again, we won't be intimidated. Our process is fair. It is the process that we follow. And so, we want our constituents to feel safe. So make sure that, like I said, if you can't get out on Tuesday, you have the opportunity to come and see us, or you can go to the county location prior to Tuesday. But it's safe, it's fair, and we want everybody to make sure that they exercise their right, no matter who you're voting for.
For the people that are campaigning on the day of volunteering, how close can they be to a poll site?
You have to be outside of 100 feet.
So that's 100 feet.
Yes.
If you're 99, get back.
Get back, or I'm coming. It's happened before, so.
What about wearing or trying to campaign in
Absolutely not. You cannot wear any paraphernalia that endorses a candidate, slogans, anything like that. No, you will be asked to leave, turn the shirt inside out. And we don't want that to happen. Okay. So just don't do it.
Lastly, because I know that you have to leave, and I would love you to stay the whole hour, but I know you're busy.
Yeah.
The last question is that, why do you do this?
I do this because, so here's the thing. Even prior to becoming a clerk, I was an advocate for voting, right? I have campaigned for not only myself, because remember I ran in 2019 for a city seat, but I've campaigned for other candidates. I have done door knocking. I've done fundraising, all kind of stuff. But I do this because I believe that, again, voting is our right. Our elected officials are important to what happens in our community. So,
are you getting young people?
Yes. Listen. Yes, we are getting so many first-time voters. I love it. Whoever is out here, we got grandparents bringing in their grandkids. We have parents bringing in their kids. So yes, we are getting a lot of young first-time voters coming in, and they're voting early, and we are, explaining the process to them. So
that has to be exciting.
It is. It's really exciting. I love it, and I hope that, this process, they continue to do it, and they educate their friends, and making sure that their friends get out as well.
Jen Ross, as much as I had to cut you loose, I know you.
I gotta go.
You gotta go. Jen Ross, thank you so much.
I do. Before we go, I do want to give.
Please talk away.
Absolutely. Before we go, I do want to give the times again. So again, Muskegon Heights City Hall is closed on Fridays, right? We did just have an event there, an estate planning event from our city attorney, T. Smith. Wonderful presentation. So if you get a chance to go to his social media sites, I believe he's going to post that. But we are closed today. However, you can still go vote today at the county location, right? Our local municipality, City of Muskegon Heights, will be open tomorrow from 11 to
Now
3.
you said the county location. Now that location is changed
Mark
because of construction. Where they at?
1903 Marquette Avenue.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. And I can't remember what time I think they're done at 5 today.
Okay.
But they're open tomorrow and Sunday too. So Sunday is the last day for the county.
Okay.
But again, the City of Muskegon Heights clerk's office will be open Saturday, tomorrow, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So go praise the Lord and then
Amen.
come and vote.
Amen.
All right.
Any shouts out that you want to give out to workers or?
Yeah. So I want to shout out my friend Larry Williams. Y'all, Larry, when I took this job 2 years ago, I took it in July and there was an August election. So I did not run the August election, but I did run the November election. And let me tell you, that's a lot to learn in a small amount of time.
Yes, it is.
So Larry has been working with me with elections since I started 2 years ago. And he just comes in about 6 weeks prior to, helps me get all the ballots out, helps me get all the letters out for people that, may be interested in voting absentee. And then, he takes a little time off and then comes back when the ballots start rolling back in. So today we got precinct bags ready for our workers. And I want to shout them out too. They are phenomenal.
Yes, sir.
So today we got the bags ready for them. All of our equipment is tested. And we are ready.
Wait. You said your equipment was tested. You might want to tell people real quickly about that process.
Oh, absolutely. So there is a series of tests that where we make sure our election equipment is working properly.
And people come in and view that as well.
They can. Yeah, it is open to the public. And every municipality does this. Every municipality is open to the public for them to come in and observe the process. So we open the polls. We have test ballots. We open the polls. We run our test ballots, and it's called a preliminary test. Yep. But we open the polls. We test our ballots. We close the polls, and then we check the numbers to make sure that everything was run smoothly. And so we did that like 2 weeks ago. And everything's fine. So we are ready for Tuesday.
What are some of the things that you can't do? Like if you think you can come in and stand next to a poll worker or what?
No.
Just what are the things so we make it very clear that you know what you can't do?
Yes. So there are poll challengers. Those are people who are credentialed by whatever political group they're working with. And those political groups have to go through the county in order to be certified as challengers.
And mind you, those people are pre-signed up and you just can't come that day and decide that you want to do that.
Right. But you can come and observe as just a watcher. So that's something totally different. So those people, you can just come and observe the process. We ask, of course, you are not allowed to talk to people. You're not allowed to campaign. You will be asked to leave if you do that. And there is a certain area that you'll be allowed to sit in to do that. So,
Jen Ross, I hate to let you leave, but
I'm sorry I couldn't stay. He just called me today. No. But he knows. Anytime he calls, I'm coming. So I'm sure I'll be getting some calls on Tuesday.
No, I think it was important that you come in and talk about what's going on, especially that ballot initiative.
Yes. Yep. That is something that people, it kind of, I guess I would say caught them by surprise. But there is a process where you can get an initiative on the ballot. So, and that's what this person did. They got their signatures and did everything that they were supposed to do that. So I also too, remember we were talking about voting, like actual how you fill out the ballot and voting straight ticket versus filling in things individually. Remember we were talking. Okay. Yes. So I'm glad that I remembered that because that was really the reason I was coming today. So when you get your ballot up in that upper left-hand corner, that is where you vote straight party. So you'll fill out the rectangle. There he has a sample. You'll fill out the rectangle for the party that you choose to vote for, right? And then that takes care of your voting for every candidate in that party that's on that first part of the ballot. You don't have to do anything else until you get down to the nonpartisan section, which for some I think is, like in the last column, about halfway down. So
And that's the judge races.
that yes, yep. So those are going to be the nonpartisan races, which is mostly judges, school boards, community college, and I think that's it. Judges and school board and community colleges on there. So those you do have to fill in individually. Voting straight ticket does not vote for any of those candidates in the nonpartisan section. You have to fill those in individually.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Jen Ross. We'll be talking to you Tuesday. Of course, we'll be doing election coverage.
Yes.
Trying to keep you in the know.
Yes. And thank you, G, for everything that you do. And also, of course, thank 103.7 for everything that they do in keeping the community informed.
All right, that's Jen Ross. This is Torn Into on 103.7 The Beat and M106.
Make sure you vote.
Come back for editorial. You're not going to like me. I'll talk to you in a minute.
What's something people don't know about community impact? A simple donation can transport kids to the heart of Ghana, opening a world of possibilities. Since 2017, thanks to 103.7, The Beat and community supporters like you, dozens of kids have embarked on a journey of a lifetime to Ghana. This isn't just any trip. It's filled with learning, adventure, and joy. These kids are diving into a culture rich in tradition. They're learning about the world beyond their textbooks. This program educates and connects communities, building bridges. Your support can light up a child's life. It's an exploration of potential and a celebration of new friendships. Donate today at kidsfreetriptoafrica.com. Every donation matters. Please donate today at kidsfreetriptoafrica.com. Thank you.
And welcome back to Torn Into this November the 1st. Brought to you by Bishop Custom Series and Entertainment. For all your needs, please see the Bishop. Of course, this is election season, and you know that because you haven't been under a rock. And this editorial that is coming, and it's the voice of Gregory Roberts that you hear. This is not the responsibility of WVS 103.7 to be or M106. Let's make that perfectly clear. I'm going to talk about several topics. You just had Jen Ross, who did an excellent job of explaining that you have a chance to vote. There is no reason for you to vote. We give you all the stats. We give you all the figures every day, every time on election day. But you know what? That's getting old. That's getting old. The thing is that you have got to become an educated voter and not a sucker. Yes, I said it, a sucker. There have been too many people copying and pasting their opinions because somebody did it on Facebook and it must be true. Shame on you, number one. Anyone that's out there intimidating, calling, messing with our clerks, or plan on messing with poll workers, don't even try it. You know what? I wish they will have short patience and don't even deal with you and just call the police. They are doing a very important job of letting you exercise your right to vote. And this is not a time to be playing games because of when by all needs necessary, which some people are doing. Some people feel that it's better to lie to you than tell you the truth. This country has a lot of stuff that it has to fix and a lot of stuff that it has to do. But didn't your mom tell you not to lie? Didn't your dad and your parents tell you don't gossip? Didn't they tell you to live by the truth? Didn't they tell not to call people out of their names? Didn't they tell you to respect your elders and respect the positions that they serve? I believe that I was taught that in my household. I don't know what you were taught in your household, but for instance, uh, the vice president is not called by her first name. And for some of you people who said she's not your vice president, that's a lie. She is. Call her by her correct title. Donald Trump was the former president. Call him by his title. I don't care what you think about these people. It's time for us to return to a state of dignity. Uh, we have lost our purpose of being dignant. We have lost our purpose of being instead of in this process, this glorious process in this melting pot. We have lost our thoughts of what this country is all about. And there are a group of people that will do this to, to mess up this country, and they will do it by all means necessary. And it's happening right here in Muskegon County, where people are calling clerks and demanding things, which they know are against the rules. They want addresses and stuff like that, which they know are against the rules. Shame on you. I happen to be a member of, and you know this, that God means everything to me, and there been clergy people. Listen, our responsibility, and some of y'all but need to turn the radio up on this. Our responsibility is to tell the truth by the book, the whole book, not cherry pick. So your candidate looks better than the other. We're supposed to not cherry pick, but tell the damn truth. And I'm going to say that again. Tell the truth, all of the truth. Just don't pick the sections that make your candidate look better. If there's one thing that really bothers me and irks me is that I see that we have this in America, in the church of in America, where people are doing this. Shame on you. You're gonna have to live with your conscience. I know I might be stepping on some toes. Well, share this message, because the thing is that for people that are staying home, you need to think too. There's no election that has ever been ever so important than this one right here. There's people that want to take you back decades. You say what? Yeah, they do. They want to take things back to the way things were. Or there are people that are not even giving you the chance to meet or come on this radio station or go to a debate so they could be maybe exposed or whatever. When you run for politics, you should get out there and let people know who in the heck you are, what you stand for, what you believe. How are you going to make it better for me? But this candy coated, sugar coated politics where I'm going to stay away from the issues and stay away from my opponent because we're just going to run it that way. You're not doing justice to the very people that you are supposed to serve. I've been here. I've been doing this for 30 some odd years. I run for just about every office. I've run some and I've lost some, but I've tried to be straight with people. I didn't know all the answers, but that's why I tried to surround myself around people that do know the answers. So this is what I'm going to ask of you, and then I'm going to get off my soapbox, is this. Stop the rhetoric. Stop the cyberbullying, because anybody can get behind a keyboard on a Friday night, slinging it and talking trash to your neighbor. Remember, it says that we should love our neighbor. Yeah, that's every neighbor. You don't get to pick and choose. You're supposed to love all your neighbors, not by the ones that have campaign signs, the one that favors your candidate. I guess I'm saying is that there used to be a time when this was a process that was where we took pride on election day, going to vote, taking our kids, telling them that they can be, that their voice can be heard, that their vote did count. We've gone away from it. And as you can see, the mess has already started. If you look in Pennsylvania, they've already started. They've already started with actually going to places where you can put your ballots in boxes and burning those down. That's happening in several states. When are we going to return to a sense of dignity? I'm hoping that we can. I'm praying that we can after this election. But it's going to take you, you, the person that is listening, or the one that's turning the radio because they don't like the rhetoric. It's going to take you, because we've done everything to educate people here. And that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do Tuesday. Listen, we're going to take a break. I'm going to break down the ballot, and then we're going to go to our next guest and give her 15 minutes in fame. You are listening and watching around the world the show Torn in Two, the show for news, information, and more on 103.7 The Beat and M106. We'll see you.
The wait is over. The all-new Umoja Radio Network, home to over 40 Black-owned radio stations and podcasts, is here for you. Connect to the world's fastest-growing collection of unapologetically Black and proud media, from podcasts to independent Black-owned radio stations, and access to the important news and music you need. Umoja Radio is from our culture, by our culture, for our culture. The all-new Umoja Radio is available right now on Google Play and the Apple Store. Join the movement. Be empowered.
As an Olympic athlete, I prepare for everything. So when I became pregnant, I thought I was ready. But at 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with severe preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Looking back, had I known the warning signs, I would have talked to my doctor sooner. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
Welcome back to 103.7 Debate in M106. You are watching or listening to Torn in Two, brought to you by Bishop Custom Series and Entertainment. Thank you, Bishop, for sponsoring this show. You can sponsor this show by calling area code 231-727-5007. Ask for Lady J, and she can give you all the information. After election coverage, of course, we return back to our normal format of giving you information that affects your community. I want to talk to you about a couple elections that you probably are not paying attention to, but are just as important. So you know the top ticket. You already guys know the top ticket. But I want to talk to you about the nonpartisan section. You have several judgeships. You have the Justice of Supreme Court. That's an 8-year term. You have some of these races are uncontested, but yet important the same. You have the Circuit Court, the 14th Circuit. The incumbent, Annette Smiley, is the current judge, and she's running unopposed. The only race that is contested is the judge of probate court, the incumbent position, and that's Gregory Pittman and Kendra Robinson. The 60th district is unopposed, but yet important. You have the board of trustees in those race. That race is an uncontested race. The race that affects you on a daily basis, probably one of the most important that you will see is school board. In school board, there are, I believe, 4 individuals. If I'm looking at this ballot correctly, you can only vote for 3. Make sure that you look at that. In the City Heights, you have a couple ballot proposals where you have to forfeit your council seat if you're a council member seeking a mayoral term. That's one. You have term limits, which you had heard from Jen Ross. That's another proposal. And there's several other things on the ballot. Those things are very, very important, especially school boards, because right now there are school boards that are voting to take books out. Well, I talked about this last week. We have certain school boards that, just put it this way, that affect how it works with your child. So don't take them for granted. Listen, all right, enough of my breath. You've heard enough of me. We're going to go to a commercial break and get our next guest on. You are listening and watching 22 on 103.7 Debate.
The wait is over. The all-new Umoja Radio Network, home to over 40 black-owned radio stations and podcasts, is here for you. Connect to the world's fastest-growing collection of unapologetically black and proud media, from podcasts to independent black-owned radio stations, and access to the important news and music you need. Umoja Radio is from our culture, by our culture, for our culture. The all-new Umoja Radio is available right now on Google Play and the Apple Store. Join the movement. Be empowered.
When smoking gives you COPD, you learn to lie a little bit. You make up excuses like, I have to get my keys. You guys go on. Anything so you can walk at your own pace. I used to do that all the time. Those lies don't work anymore. My tip is, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Like smoking isn't that dangerous.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
As an Olympic athlete, I prepare for everything. So when I became pregnant, I thought I was ready. But at 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with severe preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Looking back, had I known the warning signs, I would have talked to my doctor sooner. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
Welcome back to 22 on 103.7 Debate in the M106. We have, man, I got to get this right, Sequawanda.
Yeah.
Sherrod. She is running for a candidate on the board of Muskegon Public School.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
Thank you.
First of all, tell people about yourself.
Okay, my name is Sequawanda Sherrod. I am a class of 96, big red myself.
Yeah.
I also was on the cheerleading team. My mother was a big red. My brother is a big red, so we come from big reds. I currently work for Charter Communications. I've been there for about 22 years. I'm a scheduling administrator. Even though I'm in Michigan, my call center's in North Carolina. I'm single. I'm a single mother of an 11-year-old who goes to the new middle school. He was in the TWE program, the Spanish immersion program.
Yes.
From kindergarten
Yes.
through 5th grade at Marquette. So now he's in the middle school. We just finished football season, so we're going to take a break now. And I'm a 3-year. This is my 3rd year as a stage 3 breast cancer survivor. So that's me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. With all that said, you decided to put your foot in this race. What made you decide to run?
The first thing was my son. I wanted to make sure that he's getting a quality education. He's getting everything that he needs to succeed. I want to make sure like all his steps are lined up for him. Not only just for him, it's other kids as well. Like I said, he's in the Spanish program, so that was like a really close-knit little, community.
And an excellent program, by the way.
Yeah, it is very. Yes, I love his teachers. Yeah, it was a great program. He really likes it as well. But it's just like I gotten close with other kids as well. So you just at the end of the day, I want all the kids to succeed, including my son, his best friends, his friends that he met, his new friends, everyone. It's all about the kids.
What are some of the things that you see need to happen with Muskegon Public Schools?
One of the things that I see that needs to happen is more inclusion.
Okay.
More community engagement. More like the communication, what's going on, what's coming down the pipeline, more things like that. Sometimes it's like, I know as a parent, and I've spoken with other parents, like what's going on, So I think, and then I don't think a lot of parents know about going to things like the PTO conferences, school board, just to see what's going on in the community. Because at one point, I'll be honest, I was a little clueless. And then I'm like, no, I have to do more. So that's what I think. That's one of the biggest things.
How important is going to those PTO and school board meetings?
It's very important. I've learned a lot. And I'm still learning. I have questions. I'm still learning. I like to sit back and watch what's going on first before I, actually get into it and see. But I've learned a lot. It's eye-opening because it's like the dynamics of how everything works, how they will bring up a topic and they talk about it for a couple minutes and then they vote on it. And that's it. And I know a couple times I went and it was just my son and I, or my son, my best friend and I.
What are some of the things, if you won, what would you do? What are the things that are most important to you?
Engagement. That's very important. Clarity, inclusion, just trying to think.
Oh, that's okay. Take your time. We have time.
Because I know it's like 15 minutes. I'm trying to get everything in.
Good.
Can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
It's just if you won, what are the things that you see that you would like to start getting involved in first? Day one,
I want to know how the education part goes.
Okay.
As far as like the learning, because I know as far as like my son, he's in the middle school, so he was having problems. So I want to know okay, where's your book? I don't have a book. Okay, so it was like, where's your laptop? Well, it's not on the laptop. We had a printout. Okay, so it's like, okay, so we need to figure this out. How do we get it? So it's just like questions I have. So that would be like the first day. I think it's the communication is what I'm trying to say. I want more communication between the board, the parents, and the teachers of what's going on. This is why we're doing this, and this is how we're doing this. And sometimes we don't know until the process is already implemented.
Would you agree that a person on the school board should be actively going to neighborhood association meetings to give people updates?
Most definitely.
Would that be something that you would be involved in?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Actually, I've started going to, since I started campaigning, I've been to a couple of them, and I think that's good because you're communicating the area and what's going on with the schools.
When
I think that's great.
So you're campaigning out there. What are some of the things that you're hearing?
Whew. Some of the things I'm hearing is parents. One parent daughter just went off to college. She was more concerned with college prep.
Mm-hmm.
Her daughter had mentioned that it would have been more helpful for her if she would have had more college prep.
Mm-hmm.
We hear things about the busing. It's just so much. I don't even know where to start. I don't know.
But there are a lot of people. In other words, you're saying that there are a lot of people with a lot of concerns.
Yes, lots of concerns. It's different areas. It varies. It depends on who you're talking to. If you have someone with special needs, it depends.
Mm-hmm. How proud of you that you say you and your family have been part of the Big Reds for a long time?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to be a Big Red?
It's Big Red pride. I love being a Big Red, walking through the hallways of the Big Red. We had class of 96. They're the best class ever. I know you might disagree, but there's nothing more than walking through the hallways in high school and getting yelled at. Not me, but you got the principals outside. Hurry up, get to class. Class of 96, we were the best. So I love being a Big Red. Going to the football games, everything, the pep assemblies. It was so much fun.
I feel so old because my daughter was class of 97. I feel so old.
I was 96. Okay.
All right. So we're talking about school board and going to school board member. How deflating is it to you to go and you are the only person at the school board meeting?
It's sad. It was very sad. It was just, I was shocked because I personally thought it would have been more people there, and it wasn't. And I mean, they do ask you if you have your input, but at the time I didn't have an input because I didn't know myself what was going on. So it opened my eyes up, but it was very sad because it's like, it's not just one school. This is like for all the schools, and there was no one there. So I think just like we get the messages, make sure your kids have IDs, we should get messages too. Hey, we had a board meeting. Come on out. What's your concerns?
I was a school board member from Muskegon Public Schools. In the first meeting, I was told to keep my mouth shut.
Oh.
And it was a issue that we had to talk about that was controversial. And I spoke up. And as soon as I spoke up, they started writing checks against me. Would you be a person to speak up when there's a controversial issue, whether good, bad, ugly, pretty, but it's the best thing for the school board?
Most definitely, I'm going to speak up. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm like, the kids need a voice. And if I have to be the voice for the kids, I'm going to do it. Yes, I'm going to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You said you have a child that's 11.
Yes.
What does he think about his mom running?
He thinks it's great. That's one of my biggest supporters. He's ready. If we're going to go put signs on doors, he'll call his friends, his cousins. Hey, come on, help my mom. He's my biggest supporter. Mm-hmm. He's happy.
Is this your first time running for office?
Yes, it's my first time.
Anything you've been surprised by?
Ooh. Yes. Yes. There has been the negative, of course, but I've gotten more positivity than negative things. I have more support from people that my family and friends, of course, they're going to support, but it's like people in my church have supported. I go to Bethesda. My Pastor Pooh, was a board member as well. So
that was our family home church.
Yep, that's my church. So I have people at church helping me. Everybody is so supportive, but there's been a negative part on it. So, and my son experienced as well. So it's just been a learning lesson. So when we were flipped off and everything, and I had to tell my son, like, okay, this is, we have to have those hard conversations.
Seriously?
Yes. My son went to go give a guy a flyer. I'm not voting for her. It's like, okay, that's fine. My son was so polite about it, but he just walked away. But you have to teach them, like, okay, this is how some people are, and this is how we handle situations. But he handled it well. So
Major kudos for you for getting your son involved early in the voting process. You're running for the first time.
yes,
What advice would you give now that you've done it to somebody else that is maybe wanted to vote, to run for office?
go for it. Don't stop. I mean, even if you don't succeed, you still have to try.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop just because you're scared. Because I'm scared. I'm scared. I get nervous when I talk in front of people, but I have to swallow my pride and do what I have to do. And I think I'm doing it for the kids at the end of the day. So,
Is there anything good that you see that the school board is doing now? Or anything you would change?
anything I would. I think the inclusion. I think that's just the engagement, community engagement. I'm big on that.
I see that you're really big on that, and
Yes.
that's very important to you.
Yeah, with the community, because if we all come together as one, we can all do what's best for the children, and that's at the end of that, that's what it's for. It's for the kids. So I'm big on the community engagement.
Also, being a college coach, I found that Muskegon Public Schools, the one thing that they do well is that kids from the other schools come to college and they have no idea dealing with diversity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Muskegon Public Schools, they really do a good job with that. What do you think?
Yeah, they do. I agree.
And I think that helps with kids going to college with, like you said, college prep.
Mm-hmm.
That is important.
Yeah, because we don't want our kids to, excel in high school and then they get to college and they kind of struggle.
Mm-hmm.
We want to prepare them for the next step, or if they want to go to college, they go to the, a trade school, whatever. We want to make sure they have what they need.
Do you like the AB system that they have in process right now?
The AB schedules?
Yeah, AB schedule.
I personally, I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay.
The only reason why, because I have heard, it doesn't probably happen a lot. I'm not sure how often it happens, but if you have an off day and you forget you're marked tardy for class, and I'm not really sure. I know back we didn't have it really. We had an AB lunch, if the
Right.
times, but not an AB schedule. So I'm not a big fan of the AB schedule.
The AB schedule, if you don't know, you attend certain classes in A and certain classes on B. Different days.
Mm-hmm.
So make that clear that you know what we're talking about, the AB schedule.
Yeah.
That the teachers say that gives them longer time to prepare and work with the children. Other teachers say it gives them less time to work with kids because they don't get to work with them every day.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would have to agree. I would have to agree it will be less time because it's not every day.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the everyday is if we went over something, we can go back and it's fresh in their mind rather than, okay, we talked about this on Monday. Here it is Wednesday. So I feel like we have to go back and refresh it more rather than just, picking up where we kind of left off yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I would.
This is going to seem strange, but being a parent
Mm-hmm.
of an 11-year-old, what do you want and what do you want for his future?
Like I always tell him, I want him to be successful in whatever he does. Whatever I try to tell him, like, you don't have to be perfect, but I expect you to try and I expect you to do your best.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know something, you need to say, hey, can you help me? I don't understand this. Reach out, say something. Just don't be quiet. But I told him, no matter what you do, I'm going to support you 100%. Just do your best. That's all I ask.
Now, Muskegon is heading in a different direction in learning, where you come out with maybe a good degree or some college, or you come out with learning a trade. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think that's great that you do get the college credit and the associate's degree or a trade skill. That's great. But I'm not taking anything from it, but it's just like, as a parent, getting the more information for it.
Okay.
I don't think that was really like, this is the direction we're going in. It's kind of like, oh, I heard more about it when I started running for school board than just being a parent.
So you think that they really need to be out there advocating and telling people about this change?
Yeah, so it affects our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I think there's only one other parent that is currently on the board that has kids in school, aside from myself when I do make it on the board. So
do you think that it makes a difference?
I think it makes a huge difference because it's like I'm in it.
Mm-hmm.
I see what, as far as from a parent's perspective, I can bring that parent's perspective to the board and say, okay, so this is where we're going as far as being on the board, but this is what's actually going on in the schools. So with the two together, it could be more successful.
Right.
Rather than just making decisions and you really don't, like the CEO of the company makes all the rules, but they don't actually, do the actual, they're not in it every day on the line doing the work. So
last question.
Okay.
I'm sitting at home. It's Tuesday. I'm thinking about going out to vote. Why should I vote for you?
You should vote for me because at the end of I'm the voice for the kids. I'm going to speak up for the kids. I'm going to be there for the kids. I want what's best for the kids. I want to make sure that they're getting the proper education they need. Like I said, whether they're going to college, they're going to a trade, I want to make sure they're set up for success at the end of the day. It's plain and simple. It's no shortcut. It's just, it is what it is for the kids. That's what it should be. That's what it is.
If I am listening to you and I like what I hear,
mm-hmm.
and maybe I want to help you for these last couple of days, or maybe drop a big check off,
mm-hmm.
How do we get in touch with you?
I have a Facebook page, elect Sequawanda Sherrod for school board. I have Apple Pay. I have my flyer. You want my flyer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, get my flyer right here. Right here, it has all the information on the back with the Apple Pay, Venmo, the checks made out to my Gmail if you want to get in contact by Gmail, and my Facebook name on there.
So you can contact her, and she has and her phone number is 231-578-2400.
Yes.
Okay.
And we will be out this weekend. Also, my son and I and his friends passing out more flyers, going to doors. We will be out there.
I see you are endorsed. And why don't you tell us who you are endorsed by?
I am endorsed by the Progressive Democratic Women Caucus, Muskegon Democratic Party, Karen Bowie, Stephanie Barrett, Sandra Boone Thomas, Blanche Smith, Tracy Nichols, Betty Johnson, and Deborah Ging.
How important is it to have those people backing you?
To me, it's very important. I mean, because they've been there for me. They're supportive. They believe in me. They believe in what I've been telling them. They some of them know me personally,
mm-hmm.
So they know when it comes to my son or other kids, that's what I'm about. It's about the kids. So it's very important, and I'm honored some of these people they endorse me. I was shocked.
Ms. Sherrod, thank you so much for being on the show. And listen, it's 2:59. You are actually the last candidate that we interviewed through this process.
Oh.
So we want to thank you for coming in, and do not be a stranger.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Listen, it's Tuesdays coming up. It's election time. Yes, there'll be election coverage on the radio station, so make sure you tune in. Let me say this. It's 2:59. For people who are undecided, get educated. Go vote early so you don't have to vote on the last day. Remember what we always say. You can sit up and be on your lazy boy, or you can go out and sow a seed in somebody's life. Pick up that child, take that child, and do something, because you never know who you might be touching. I'm Gregory T. Roberts. Melvin Burns will be with me Tuesday. Get well, my friend. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next week on Torn Into.
The wait is over. The all-new Umoja Radio Network, home to over 40 Black-owned radio stations and podcasts, is here for you. Connect to the world's fastest-growing collection of unapologetically Black and proud media. From podcasts